When you see people walking, do you ever wonder why the thin ones precede the fat ones? Or, when you're playing volleyball, when someone spikes the ball, do you ever wonder why the speed of the ball is so fast? Or, when you're doing some physical activities just like jumping, do you ever wonder why the heavier one is the fast to land again on the ground, while the lighter one is the slowest to land again on the ground? Well, if you want to know the answer for that, just keep on watching! First, let me introduce to you Sir Isaac Newton. So, who is Sir Isaac Newton? Well, Sir Isaac Newton is an English scientist and mathematician famous for his discovery for the 3 laws of motion. And those 3 laws are the answers to our questions: why the thin ones are always ahead over the fat one? Why is the speed of the ball is so fast? And why the heavier one is the fast to land on the ground, unlike the lighter one who's slowest? So, without further ado, let's tackle the 3 laws of motion by Sir Isaac Newton.
Today's video we will discuss about law of inertia. Law of inertia explains how an object responds to changes in motion. But before anything else, let's talk about forces and motion. Force is any push or pull that causes changes in the motion of an object. Motion is caused by unbalanced forces. The response of an object to changes in motion can explain by Isaac Newton's first law of motion. The first part of Newton's first law of motion stated that an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. The second part stated that an object in motion continues to move with the same velocity unless acted on by an unbalanced force. We can demonstrate inertia using the following experiment.
First daily situation.
This daily situation is under the law of inertia. The chair is at rest, but once Carl puts some force to it, he can freely move it forwards and backwards. The science in it is that once an object is at rest, just put force to it to make it move, or to move it from one place to another.
Second daily situation.
The ball is rolling in a constant motion. That's why we put some force to the ball by making step on it. That's why the rolling ball is being stopped. The science in it is that once an object is in a constant motion, put some force to it to make it stop.
Newton's second law of motion or law of acceleration states that when an object is acted on by an outside force, the strength of a force equals the mass of an object times the remaining acceleration.
First daily situation.
This daily situation is under the law of acceleration. In this scenario, we can see that Jalon spikes the ball towards Ivan. As I said earlier, this is under the law of acceleration. Why? Simply because Jalon puts so much force when he spikes the ball towards Ivan. And when Jalon puts so much force on the ball speed is so fast. That's why this is under the law of acceleration.
Second daily situation.
As we can see, Andrino is the first one to land back again on the ground when he jumped because he is the heavier one, while Jalon, on the other hand, the thinner one, is the slowest to land back again on the ground. So, why this is under the law of acceleration? Simply because the heavier one is the fastest to land back on the ground, and the thinner one is the slowest to land back on the ground.
Newton's third law of motion is called interaction. Newton's third law of motion says that in every action, there is an opposite and equal reaction. The statement means that in every interaction, there is a two pair of forces acting on the two interacting objects. The size of the forces on the first object is equal to the size of the force on the second object. And the direction of the force on the first object is opposite to the direction of the force of the second object.
First daily situation.
As we can see in this scenario, the two girls are going downstairs. So the action in here is the stepping of the foots of the girls, while the reaction in here is when they go downstairs.
Second daily situation.
So, as we can see, the scenario in here is dropping a coin. The girl dropped the coin twice. The first drop is with force and the second drop is without force to see the difference. So, the action in this scenario is the dropping of coin, while the reaction is the how high the coin will be when it drops, with force and without force.
How this loss affects our lives.
How is the law of inertia affects our lives? It affects our life in a way that this law teaches us on much force we need to insert to a given object to make it move if it's at rest or to make it stop if it's in motion.
How is the law of acceleration affects our lives? It affects our life in a way that it teaches us to apply force to make an object move faster or slower to its given weight or mass.
How is the law of interaction affects our lives? It affects our lives in a way that it teach and tell us what action we will do, because in every object there is an equal reaction by it.
One, two, three, go! Ano pa? What? Oto, una. 1, 2, 3, go! Naalala ko yung Panik ka sa sarap! Gano'n. Bet ko pa din, bet. Tapos gano'n. W is nice. There's a hill.
Oh, game na.
3 hills.
Game na!
1 hill. Beth, we have 3 hills here.
Nagbabounce yung ano, tignan mo siya.
Gaga, kapag tumulog, naglagalong din yan. Ibo-bloopers yan.
Ate, yung balls mo, ate. Ate, yung balls mo, nagkikita. Nagkakahay.
First bounce. Second. Law of bouncing.
Uy,
Ay, nga tayo, be.
bakit yung pinapawisan mo?
Ano ko, be? Hoy! Game na.
1, 2, 3, go!
Huwag lang kasi,
Shout out sa'yo. Nai-sponsor mo ako sa sabi.
Sam, pa-forward ko sa kanila.
Game na, game. Game.
What? Kamay sa likod.
kamay sa dibdib.
Oh. Hoy, masyado na tayo magamit yung laptop yun.
Wala tayo matatapos nito.
Wala kang pakitibay. Dito ka.
Talon tayo lahat.
Ayaw ko sabi nga gumagawa ng bloopers dyan.
Oh, game na. Kamay sa likod.
Lock!
Alpha ko. Ay? Kamay sa likod. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, sir. Wala ka to. Yes. 1, 2, 3, go.
Bilis na!
Ayusin nyo na. Ayusin nyo kasi dapat same posture din kayo.
1, 2, 3, go.
Ang bigat